Just click the button.
Just click the button, so it takes a few minutes. Or are we live right now, pal?
We're technically live right now, pal. Well, the counter hasn't started yet. Hold on a sec. Okay. All right. Now we're live, pal.
We're live, pal. We're live. Hey, welcome to two. No, I was about to say two cute brothers. Let's hear it first. Let's say words. Hey, hey, Roy.
Hey, Red.
Wait. It's not even a delay. Woo! Welcome to Loser Leaves Wrestling. We're back on track, better than ever. Don't even worry. If you're coming in, don't worry. We're not going to mess up on you. We're not going to freeze up. We're not going to have weird sound effects. This is no glitching or anything. Roy has been working painstakingly. Come on in. Let us know you're here. We can respond too. This is Loser Leaves Wrestling, the WOOS and WHATS of AEW Dynamite. My name is Red Jefferson, and I'm here with Roy, the Toy Boy Hammer.
Swizz. Hey,
Swizz
man.
in here? Swizz is in here. How do we sound, Swizz? Let us know how we sound. We're Gilly Gaming's in here. Hell yeah, Gilly Gaming. We love to see you here. This has been a roller coaster. Thank you all so much for sticking it out with us, letting us get through this. How are you feeling today? No, Swizz says no FaceTime this week. Swizz, you're being a sassafras.
Swizz, we've got it fixed. We've got it fixed. We did it. It's required me using multiple computers.
He's got a 3-screen setup. He's got a 3-screen setup.
Stressful.
A bunch of Reddit people, and Swizz says sounds better than ever. Tony's in the house.
Tony!
Hola, ¿cómo está usted, muchacho? Excellent job. Excellent job. We are here, and this is Loser Leaves Wrestling, the WOOS and WHATS of AEW Dynamite. I already said it, but we're going to talk AEW Wrestling tonight. Dynamite, it's the first episode with CM Punk on there, and it's the last one with Brock Anderson. Oh, we don't know that. Bless his heart and soul. Let's get into this. Let's start talking about the woos of tonight, the big good things, the woos of the night. Royster, what is your big woo of the evening?
Oh God, it's got to be the CM Punk promo.
Interesting.
It has to be, and
I
the
guess
reason
it has
for
to
that
be. Actually,
is,
just looking at my list, it has to be, honestly.
It wasn't the greatest episode of Dynamite. It wasn't bad. We'll talk about it, but Punk is still just so happy to be there, and I love watching him be so genuine and so happy to be there. I love that. I love that he's still like, it feels like he's not keen to time yet. They're not telling him how long he has. He still gets to go out there and do whatever he wants. And it's the only moment in the history of AEW Dynamite that they've let breathe is the end of that promo where they watched him walk up to the point where he didn't know which tunnel to go in. They just let it go.
Honestly, and that is like part of the play on words, but it is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
The fact that they let things breathe because everything else feels so jam packed and crowded, and it feels like you can't even make sense of anything. One thing I did want to mention in terms of the CM Punk Tony interview, the best part for me was also upsetting to me was the Bryan Danielson mention.
I was wondering what you think about that.
I'm upset. Like, of course, I love it. I love it because it's in the moment. Quit reading the comments yet. We're still in conversation mode. God damn it. God damn it. We're going to get to the comments.
I'm excited.
I know. We're excited. We're back and we're working and shaking. But, like, I really love the Bryan Danielson comment because it's, in the moment. We're in the moment together. He's being very present when it's cool, when they reflect on that. But I don't like it because you're kind of taking away a little bit of his steam. A little bit of his steam's being taken away. Every time you make a reference to it, every time that happens, there's a little bit more taken out of the kettle. And so I want a full amount of steam. I want them to forget about this by you being as CM Punk as possible. I feel like that was a little bit of a selfish move on his part to get a cheap pop.
Yeah, I think if anybody else did it, it would be unacceptable. But that's like a very like Punk thing to do. Like CM Punk is like, I've gone back and watched some of his old promo stuff. Yeah, and it's very much that way. But I also think we will forget. I don't think it's impossible to actually forget Bryan Danielson and like knowing that he's coming at some point. But I think We will forget because there's just so much going on all the time. Yeah. And we may even get an Adam Cole debut between now and a Bryan Danielson debut. We don't know that. We don't know what we might get a Ric Flair debut.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, let's see. Tony comes in here. He's like, "Am I the only guy who wants a heel Punk?" Yes. No, I love you, Tony. We all love a heel Punk, but there's plenty of time for that, right? We don't have to rush into it. People want to cheer him. Let's not let them get that out first before we start messing with something that's already there, right?
Yeah, I think it's like this whole idea of, not to go WWE here, but it's like when Becky came back and she's going to be a heel, like that's the thing. Nobody wants to boo her. Why are you making us boo her? No one wants to do that.
Very good point.
So let it happen naturally.
Yeah, 100%. Very good point, honestly. That's actually a very good application of topical information from today's wrestling. S says, S is back in the building. We got S in here. This is going to be a heavy what episode? Don't hold back, boys. Hold on a second. Actually, it's not very heavy on the what's for me. Is it heavy on the what's for you?
It's not. It's heavy on the like, for me. You know, there's some really powerful
that's a good point.
woo moments for me, but they're like smaller on this episode.
I feel like there's no powerful anything for me on this episode. Yeah. Like, and maybe that's because there's a WHATS, W-E-H. We decided that last week, yes. Yeah. Smooth says the Daniel Bryan moment was hilarious, plus maybe AJ Lee at the buy-in battle royale.
Pretty interesting.
Very interesting, because they're having the buy-in battle royale. Is this the first time they're doing women's buy-in?
They've done it once before at the very first All Out.
Okay. Well, this is exciting just to see a bunch of fresh faces in there, because they showed the 9 women already announced, and that's their entire roster. We got Tony says, he. You're damn right, Tony. Bless you. S, the references to Bryan aren't going to take out the steam like Darby's Punk reference didn't deflate that for Punk steam. Plus, we all know Mr. Danielson is coming. Okay, fair point, right?
That's a fair point. Very much so.
Very fair point, S. Okay, someone's coming to the pizza party early. That's a good point. Yeah. We're going to make sure there's a slice for S. Tony, we all know Bryan is showing up to challenge Miro. It's so obvious. Is it so obvious?
I didn't think that was obvious, but that's a good match.
I'm not mad at it. S,
no, that's
Tony,
good.
I am not mad at that thought at all, but is that the best? Actually, yeah. Actually, that's a pretty cool use for Punk. Not Punk, Bryan. Very interesting, Tony. You're definitely, well, we're going to see about you, Tony, because you're giggling. We're not sure if we're going to bring you to the pizza party just yet. No offense, Tony, but we only have so many slices in that pizza pie. Moving on. Let's go. A big woo for me tonight was Malachi Black.
Sure.
Malachi Black. So let's talk a little Malachi Black. Malachi Black earlier in the evening had a promo where he's like, Brock Anderson, like, this is what's going to happen. You're going to go out of the ring and you're going to get a 10 count. And then you're going to apologize to me. You know, like, and I just love that. The way of framing it, just saying like, and no one talks like that. No one says, oh, no, not only are you not capable, but you're also totally unprepared for what it's like to be with me in the ring. When you're in the ring, it's going to hit you. And that's what it's going to hit you. You think you're all tough beforehand. And then the match itself, Brock got some good shots in early. He got busted open hard way, it looked like, because I don't think he was going to blade. I don't think that was a blade at all. I think that was hard way. And then Malachi Black took out both Andersons, kicked Arn in the balls. I liked actually that spin kick. Arn blocked it in a cute way. And then he really got hit in the balls real bad. What did you think of old Malachi Black today?
I thought he did a great job. I thought it was really good. A couple of things. I do think it's funny. Arn blocked it, but I don't know, like, he sold it in like a real world kind of way where he like was like, and then he realized he was like, hey, wait, this hurts. And then he got kicked in the balls and then in the head. I respect the fact that in my head, this is the story I told in my head, that Brock Anderson came up to Malachi Black in the back and was like, hey, can you bust me open hard way? Can you punch me in the head and make me bleed? Because that would be cool if you did that. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, sure. Because there's a moment where Malachi Black looked at his hands and he was like, oh, yeah, I really knocked this guy good.
And it looked good. And it was perfect for the moment, though. It was really perfect to make his son bleed. Really good.
Really good. And I think at first I was like, oh, Lee Johnson. I thought it's like, well, this is the main event. Like, I guess here comes Cody. Cody probably dyed his hair black, and here's dark Cody. But no, it was Lee Johnson, which I like, actually, because he had that great match against Miro, where Miro gave him a lot, and he looked really strong. And I think he could go 5 to 10 minutes with Malachi Black on a Dynamite.
I am insulted. I put this as a what, because like Malachi Black isn't afraid of anyone. He's literally like destroying all the Andersons, and then Lee Johnson comes out, and that's when he runs. He didn't run.
Well, he just walked away. He walked away. He didn't run.
Why didn't you just fuck up Lee Johnson too? It seems like something Malachi Black would want to do. It just felt a little out of character for Malachi Black to do. We got some comments here. It would probably mean Miro drops the title, and I don't know if I would like that. In reference to Bryan Danielson versus Miro, yeah, he would have to drop the title. Bryan Danielson is not going to lose to Miro. So maybe not that. We'll see. We'll see what that looks like. Malachi Black changed his little boxer shorts to some tiny little Speedos. That's what it was before, Swizz. Yeah. That's what it was before, and I kind of like it like this, personally.
Yeah.
Wait, you like the swishy pants?
I got the swishy pants started winning me over, but I understand it. I'm okay with what he's wearing right now.
Sound off in the comments if you want the Swissies or the Speedos. And give us a honk honk when you're ready for it. Malachi Black. Smooth says not a fan. So we know you don't like the Speedos. You like the swishies. Gilly Gaming Black has one of the best entrances in AEW. 100%. I forgot to mention that, but I also wrote that down as well. Very good point, Gilly Gaming. Very good point. Excellent job. Did you? Something I wanted to pose to you. Is Malachi Black allowed to sit cross-legged anymore?
Yeah, he is.
You think so?
I think so.
I noticed him specifically not doing that when he at the end of the thing, he sat in the corner turnbuckle instead of doing that. It's almost like he looked at the ground and he's just like, can't do that. Can't do that one anymore.
I hadn't thought of that. To piggyback off of Gilly Gaming, I love the fact, and I don't know if I've ever seen it before, where parts of his entrance are in total darkness. Mm-hmm. So he's moving around, he's climbing up the ropes, he's doing in complete darkness. Good for him.
Yeah, good. I like it. And well, it's not complete. Oh, thank God. I think we're good. Let us know if we're good. That was scary. We got real scared there for a second. We froze up a little bit. Wait, we're going to see. Oh, geez. I'm moving. Sound off if you know what's happening. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Can you hear us? Sound off if you know what's happening. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Roy's gone. Can you hear us? Roy's gone. If you know what's happening. The 3 screens weren't enough. Oh, man. We got some comments here. We're gonna talk real quick. Roy's frozen through 3 screens weren't enough. You're tiny and he's frozen. We need a 4th. We need a 4th. I can hear you, Red. Chica Marks is in the building.
Good to hear from you.
And cousin Roy is frozen, but you're back.
Are you back? Oh, I'm moving.
You're back.
I think I'm moving, but now I'm gone. Now I'm over here. All right.
Say something, Roy.
What's going on?
Yeah, you're back on. But I'm still tiny. But we're going to deal with Tiny Red right now. Let's not mess with success.
I can try to fix it, but I don't know if I can.
Oh, jeez. Want what? We could try if we want. But I'm just nervous now.
I don't think I can fix you.
We all know.
But, okay.
Let's not fix it. Want what? Y'all get the picture. And we're all doing great. Roy's back. Swizz is happy that Roy's back. Everyone
I'm back, which I appreciate.
Everyone's going to the pizza party. Roy's going to be driving. Roy is driving us.
I'm qualified to do so.
He's doing it. You're all good now, but you're still tiny. I understand that, Tony. We're going to get past the fact that I'm tiny. We're all going to live through this. You can see what's going on. You want me to move up forward? You want me over here? Is that better? All right. We got to get into this. This is Red's real size. Swizz, now you're going to get fucking kicked out. Let's move on. Roy, what's another big woo for you?
Big woo for me is the small stuff. When AEW first started and Dynamite first started, everyone was complaining that there was too much wrestling and not enough kind of backstory for people to understand the characters. I think the little video packages and things they're doing right now are fantastic. I think the FTR video package was really awesome, really, really good.
Very sad though. Very sad. I hope
I hope so
it's a
too.
work. I hope that's a work because I haven't read anything like he's
Yeah.
gotten nerve damage. But honestly, if he had nerve damage, he would not be coming in.
Also true. Yeah. Yeah.
He would not be clear. Can we all agree on that?
I think that match is going to be awesome, and I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, very excited about that. What other little things do you notice?
I love everything about Miro. I love everything about Miro. I think the promo that he's cutting is really good. It leads me to they do this weird thing in AEW, and they did it twice tonight. Red slowly growing. You are slowly growing. That's really funny. I'm
hulking up.
Where they kind of tell their stories out of sequence. And feel free to sound off in the comments if you disagree with me. This is really more my preference than anything else. Where they announce a match or they announce someone's intention, and then they really kind of give you a reason, I guess. Like, they announced Chris Statlander versus Britt Baker, and then they did a big angle in the ring. Which I guess there was like a little angle a few weeks ago between Statlander and Britt Baker, but Baker never cut a promo, Statlander never cut a promo, and then they just announced the match. And then they did a big angle right after they announced the match, which now that I'm saying it out loud isn't really that bad of a thing, but I don't know.
No, I have some actually issues with that, but we're going to get into that with our what's. But I hear what you're saying. Sound off what you think about that in the comments. Let us know. I did enjoy all those backstage. You forgot one backstage segment. It wasn't necessarily a video package, but it was the Dark Order drama, and which I hope they don't break up, but I'm glad to see there's some spice in there. Like there's a little infighting, and it's going to make them grow stronger because no one's malicious except Evil Uno did say something mean, but sometimes you say mean things to your friends. Sound off if you ever said something mean to your friends. But you know what I'm saying? Like there's a little bit infighting, which is kind of good, and I'm excited to see where that leads. I hope it doesn't lead to a break.
Right? You know what I think it might lead to, and this is me just reaching here, but I think it was either Silver or Reynolds who said something to Uno about you're not the leader of the Dark Order, whoever made you the leader or whatever. I think it might lead to them having a new leader, whoever that is. Maybe it's Hangman when he comes back. Maybe it's Bray Wyatt. I don't know. It's probably not Bray Wyatt.
I hope it's not.
I don't know who it would be, but maybe it leads to someone.
Cowboys don't lead groups. That's not cowboy shit. That's not cowboy shit at all. And we got a lot of comments of how I'm bigger. Very good. Thank you so much, Swizz, Gilly Gaming. Bless all of you. You all really helped out with that. You're going to be a big boy soon, Red. Thank you, S. I think she's been running in on Brit on Dark and stuff before. Okay, so that explains a little bit, but I don't like... and I've talked about this with Moet, Lord Moet, that I don't like when they have storylines built on Dark. Your storylines should be built on TV, and if they are on Dark, we need recaps. We need recaps of Dark, because I don't want to deal with this not showing us and having us expect to watch all, what is it, 8 hours of wrestling a week? 8 hours? It's about that.
Maybe 6. It's still long.
I think one of my woos is the Dark Order bickering because I was so emotionally invested. Very good point, Chica Marks. As we were discussing, because we love the Dark Order. So like just seeing this like a little bit of issue in the ranks, I'm very interested in, and maybe this will lead to Colt Cabana going after CM Punk. I don't know about that. Who knows? Being the Elite and Sammy's vlog. What is
also
that about?
Stuff to watch where they do storylines, which I don't.
Oh yeah. Oh, for Christ's sakes! Like, how much are they asking? Very good point, Tony. Honk honk for Tony. Give Tony a honk honk or a squeak squeak, something like that. Give it whatever noise you want. Let's see what other big woos I got. What? Some of the matches on there. I'm gonna say one of my favorite match of the night: Matt Hardy versus Orange Cassidy.
Good match.
I like Matt Hardy versus Orange Cassidy. And I feel like who said that there's going to be a lot of what's tonight? Tony said there was going to be a lot of what's, right? Oh no, S said there was going to be a lot of what's tonight, and I think I'm going to just assume that S is talking about this match because I feel there's a lot of Matt Hardy haters out there. I'm one of them, but I felt like this was a good match, good throughout. I love the money bit. I love the money spot. I think that's a great use of Matt, like just to kind of like always have money in his pockets and it keeps falling out and he keeps having to pick it up. I think that's very funny. Good false finishes. What did you think
Yeah,
of
I
that?
thought it was good. I think Matt Hardy is doing something that I think we are, as a wrestling fan base, discovering more and more of, is that these older wrestlers who are just really smart, really good wrestlers are finding a way to wrestle their match and taking these younger,
Mm-hmm.
more athletic wrestlers and guiding them through their match. And they both get over. They both look great. The only issue was that Orange Cassidy broke Matt Hardy's nose. So that's kind of an issue.
Sure.
But I
Yeah.
was thinking about
That was, oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was a
I was thinking
gesture.
about that too, and we were talking, I guess, a couple of days ago about NXT's like in-ring work and how it's like of a high quality. Something that I think AEW, I think obviously AEW's in-ring work is also of a very high quality, but something that AEW runs into often is that wrestlers are like sometimes they're off a little bit because they've never wrestled each other before. There's always fresh matchups. There's never really rematches. There's no dark matches, and there's no house shows or whatever for people to like get used to wrestling each other for TV. Their first match ever is on television, so you never really know what might happen. And I think this is an example of like Matt Hardy didn't understand how high Orange Cassidy could get up on that crossbody, and he like wasn't ready to completely. He just wasn't in the right spot, and Orange Cassidy just crushed his nose.
Yeah, I want to see that again. We have to find that. If anyone knows when it happened, was that the crossbody?
Yeah, it was the crossbodies because there's also a moment right after it happens where Matt Hardy's just like his face
Oh,
freaks
like
out.
just blinking
Yeah.
the fuck. Been there before. Excellent job. Yeah, Hardy still got it. Tony says, yeah, Hardy still got it. Smiz, great point. Matt's baby hips didn't hold him back, but the nose looked awful. We've talked many times in the show about Matt Hardy's baby hips. They're fragile. They're quirky. They got a mind of their own, and they're not very flexible. But he did a good job today. Chica Mark says, good pockets theme. Yeah, I like the pockets throughout. And it closed the match, too. It closed the match with the roll up, the roll ups, and then the pockets. Very good point, Chica Marks. Thank you so much. And Tony, yeah, it was. I would just agree with that
Yeah.
comment, Tony. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was.
Also a woo for me, and this I've like two woos rolled up into one.
Yeah, give me it.
I don't know what that says. I wrote notes and I can't read them, but the first few rows all had aviators on for Orange Cassidy's match. I love that. I thought that was wonderful. And then one of them in the very front row had a sign that said, "Keep wrestling alive, get vaxxed."
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. And they were putting that up during the Jericho fucking talk. We're going to talk about that in my WHATS. But the sign was up during that, and I bet it pissed him off. It really got his gourd. Let's see what we got here. He did the pockets finish on Dark also for Orange Cassidy. Very interesting. I didn't notice that. Hardy OC was great. Better than I expected, and the color made it better. Y'all need to Dan Lambert up and enjoy the physicality.
Okay.
As you try to start with me. But I will say that is one of my woos. Dan Lambert.
He's doing a great job.
Dan Lambert's doing a great job. I know you were trying to be snarky and you're trying to hit us right in the kidneys, but we won't allow it. I'm gonna roll with it. Roll with the punches, and Dan Lambert is doing a great job. I really enjoy him. I think he's really fun. I think he's the Jim Cornette. Like Jim Cornette, I was listening to him. He's just like, the guy's cutting my promo. The guy's cutting my damn promo. He's saying my shit. I'm trending, and it's not even on their TV. And so it's I really like Dan Lambert, and that is exactly what Scorpio Sky and Ethan
Page. Ethan Carter's EC3.
Yeah, whatever. They're for the same.
Ethan Page.
But Ethan Page. But like that's exactly what they need, right?
Yeah, agreed. They just need a direction, and this gives them a direction.
Yeah. Honestly, I would love for it to be Cornette. I would have loved for it to be Cornette and really to rip into all those little shits in there. I'm not a Cornette head. Get off my back, all right? Get off my fucking back. What do we got here? Chica Marks, I took a picture of my TV to get that sign. I'm guessing the vaccinated sign. Very good work. Dan Lambert's promo was fire. We all hail, Tony. We all agree. Any other woos for you tonight? Actually, I got 3 more.
I have. Let me see real quick. FTR. I have I have a couple of like little woos, a couple of little more woos.
Let's get some baby woos out of there.
The locker room setup for the Varsity Blondes promo that they're getting their jackets out of their lockers, pretty good. I like that. Okay, right. Fine. I guess that was just me.
Sound off if you like the locker room set up behind the Varsity Blondes.
I bet someone does. I bet someone will like that.
Yeah, let's see.
And I love, and this is like my own thing. I'm not expecting anyone else to like this. I love the wingmen.
Oh, it's in here for me too. Not the match though.
Who cares?
Yeah, but the wingmen, like literally all of them as individual pieces, bad. No, actually, no, not true. Not true. I like Peter Avalon.
JD Drake's awesome too.
And JD Drake is awesome too. Actually, I'd love for them to be the tag team. Cesar Bonini to be the muscle that's outside the ring. Cesar Bonini shouldn't be wrestling matches when Peter Avalon and JD are there. And Ryan Nemeth should go take a fucking hike. God damn it. I can't stand Ryan Nemeth. He is, I don't get it. I honestly don't get how he gets so much, even the amount of TV time. They gave him so much in the beginning, and they're like, oh, yeah. Like they realized quick. He is not worth it, but it's very interesting. What are your thoughts on Ryan Nemeth?
I could do without him. I watched some of the stuff on Being the Elite. When they're trying to get someone over, they put them on Being the Elite, and I skip through his stuff. I don't care. It seems kind of interesting, but I just don't care. What do you think, though? I wrote down a couple of things. JD Drake's outfit, what did that make you think of today?
I thought
Amish Roadkill.
I thought Amish Roadkill.
Someone 100%. Also said Curtis Hughes. Remember Curtis Hughes?
Yeah. Sure, I could see Curtis Hughes. But Curtis Hughes, didn't he have a jacket?
I think he only wrestled in a white shirt though.
This guy was wrestling like he owns like a reception hall for a wedding, and he's getting his hands dirty because he has to work the cocktail hour. Yeah, very good. I really enjoyed that. But Peter Avalon's great. Cesar Bonini should be the muscle. Ryan Nemeth should carry someone's bags in the back and never be seen. Lucha Bros, no Pac with them tonight. Very interesting, Tony. I noticed that as well. And I don't think everyone should be on the show every single week. And if Pac were on tonight, they'd be in a backstage segment where Andrade walks up to them and then Chavo talks to them, and then they go back and forth, and it'd be the same thing. Let's take a break from Chavo. I love the Wingmen so much, but I want JD Drake to move on. What is that supposed to mean, Swizz? Move on to what? Do you want to move out like you don't like him, or you want to move on as a solo? Because honestly, he's not going to make it as a solo. He's not Kevin Owens.
Not in AEW. He could be NWA champion, in my opinion.
He could be NWA champion. Actually, he could be MLW champion.
MLW champion.
I feel like that's more of like the workers, like real stiff, like kind of shoot style wrestling, like strong style wrestling. MLW, they're characters there. You got to be character. When you're there, you're a character. It's like the Olive Garden TBS had a baby. I love so he's got a cream thing on BTE. What?
He's got like a cream bit. I've like seen a little bit of it where he's no. Brian Nemeth.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care. What is he gonna do? A cream thing? Swizz, you're being a real silly guy right now. Silly kid. I don't know who you are, but you're from UK, and that's all we know about you. Very mysterious, Swizz. Want to who else I like tonight? Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter looked really good, but Red Velvet looked pretty winded.
This is an important conversation to have, because I think a lot of people are going to immediately dismiss this women's match as being sloppy and not good. But I think Jamie Hayter, first of all, Jamie Hayter's clothesline rules. It's awesome. Yeah.
I wish Velvet could take it.
Yeah, she like landed on her head almost when she tried to do that. But I also think Jamie Hayter, I was thinking about this, and I could be wrong, and maybe Smwiz being in the UK could correct me, but I don't feel like Jamie Hayter's had a match in like a year and a half. Like since the pandemic started, I don't know if she's had a match.
Even in the UK, was it visa issues or like COVID issues?
Both. I think. Okay. I'm not sure, but I think she hasn't wrestled in a really long time, so I think she looked great for having. You know what I also loved?
Yeah.
Is that Red Velvet's suicide dives to the outside? Jamie Hayter took those like a champ. They looked great.
Yeah. No, they looked great, and that was a lot of her. Like Jamie Hayter worked real hard at this match, and Red Velvet bless her, because she's got some energy when she comes out, and she's a likable person. But I don't think she's. The character's not there. Her match with Britt hurt her. And also like she got winded tonight, and then we talked about Red Velvet misses the standing moonsault every time. This one she completely whiffed it. At least sometimes she gets her hands on. She jumped right over her.
She did.
Right over her, and then they're just like, we're going to the finish. Jamie Hayter's like, I've had enough. Jamie Hayter's like, no, fuck this, we're done. JD Drake's new look, Big Bubba, a roadkill throwback. We agree. Time. Thank you, S. Thank you so much. Gilly Gaming, I don't think JD Drake could be MLW champ because there's so many better guys there. Well, whoa, Gilly Gaming. JD Drake is pretty good. JD Drake is he reminds me of Finlay. He wrestles like Finlay.
Yeah, if you ever get the chance, I would have to. If you send us a what do they call it? A DM on Twitter, I will find you
or Instagram. Loser League Wrestling. Check us out on. Oh, by the way, check us out on Instagram. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter. Make sure to like us there, so it gives me more incentive to post.
I will find you the match that he had with Eddie Kingston on Dark. That's very, very, very good. And I would be curious to see what your opinion is after watching that match. And also talk more about MLW, because I'm curious to talk to people who love MLW, because I haven't seen a lot of it.
Gilly Gaming, reach out to us. Gilly Gaming, reach out to us. We want to show you this match, and we want to hear what you think about MLW. We're going to start doing that soon, I think, right?
Which?
And we're going to start covering that.
Yeah, why not? That sounds great.
Yeah, why not? The size difference was hard to overlook. That's with Jamie Hayter and Red Velvet. It is definite, a huge. But when she faces Chris, I want to see Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander. Yeah. That's the match I want to see. We'll talk about Chris Statlander versus Britt Baker in my WOOS.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, Swizz, I don't know if this was just on Fight, but during one of the breaks, JR kept talking about how thick Jamie Hayter is and how she just must do squats. Proper freaky guy. Yeah, I'm sorry, JR. Stop. Just stop. Like, JR, I understand you're the voice. You should be doing. Wonder what JR should be doing. Those sit-down interviews. Because I like him in those sit-down interviews, and that should be his role. Have Excalibur and Taz do Dynamite, have Tony Schiavone do the Mean Gene, and do the interviews, and that's how you make it compatible. JR is pretty creepy sometimes.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all.
Loves that blue chew. Love that blue chip.
I think JR, look, I think he needs to wise up. I think he needs to stop saying the things that he's saying. I know that he means that he's trying to treat the men and the women equally. So if he said that like a man would do a bunch of squats and he's looking thick and strong.
It's the way he says it. Is he's like Jamie Hayter's looking thick.
That's not true.
Thick.
JR is. I was thinking about this today too. While watching the show, JR is very good at those one-liners, and that's all he should do. Like,
does he have
when Punk debuted in Chicago and he said like, "Oh, this building hasn't shaken like this since Michael Jordan was winning champion." Great line, great. Tie it all together, great. Give me these like little like, he must be broken in half or whatever. But I don't need to hear him calling matches. I don't need his opinion on things. I don't need any of it.
I'm finer than frog's hair split 4 ways.
I don't need it.
You like that one?
That's good.
You like that one?
It's good.
Yeah, he needs to have a more relaxed role, a more sit back role. Him being on Dynamite every week is dangerous. It's dangerous. He's gonna say WWE again. He's gonna accidentally say a slur of some kind. I'm waiting.
Bring in Don Callis. Let's go.
I don't like
Don Callis. Commentator. Fantastic commentator. One of the best.
Well, we're gonna have to see about that. And the one last thing, I really liked Lucha Bros versus Varsity Blondes. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. The issue is, and it's an issue with a lot of AEW matches, is that they just do a lot of things rather than the story. And it kind of blurred out the story of them being kind of like the young up-and-comers that are trying to take over the vets. And I would like to see that story, but rather it was just like, back and forth match, which is great. But I just didn't get it. But it was a fun match. I don't understand why Jurassic Express were in the crowd. I don't like that. I don't like seeing Luchasaurus just sitting in the crowd. I don't know. It's just weird to me. I would rather them on the TV monitor in the back, just looking at the monitor and like nodding.
I like them in the crowd. They're scouting out their talent front row.
But you know what I'm saying. And but also the fun after match thing where they beat up the Young Bucks. I liked. It wasn't really a woo, it was a woo, but it was like a good way.
I think my only feeling, I thought overall it was good, and it looked like we were frozen, but I think we're good. I think we're good now.
Oh, we got.
Yeah, but I think we're okay now.
Oh, we're back in. God. Okay, thank God. Thank God. We got Red's JR impression, just gold. I'll give you a woo for that. Thank you, S. Small Red, no Roy again. Big Red, no Roy. Big Red, no Roy. Roy's frozen again. No. Big Red and Roy, he's back. They're back. Thank you guys so much. I had no idea. That was a crisis that I missed entirely.
One day we'll write a book, and it's going to be called Small Red and No Roy again.
Small Red, no Roy. Big Red Roy. Excellent job. Thank you all so much for the information, because we need this information. Sometimes we don't catch it, but we do. Do you have any other woos before we move on to the what's?
You're going to bring it up in your what's, and I was on the fence about it, and I could be convinced that it was a what, and we can start with that. Well, actually, my one quick what is Brian Pillman Jr. Slow down. You don't need to wrestle Lucha Brothers style. Just wrestle your style. Yeah. Just slow down.
Yeah.
That's 100%. My only thing.
And that's the issue. I wish that were the story. Like, he kept trying to speed up to their style, and they kept getting the advantage and kind of showing off about how, like, knowledgeable they are, and then all of a sudden that their intensity and their heart got them back in, rather than just be a back and forth match like they always do. But that's a good point, Roy. That's a good point. Let's move on to the what's. My biggest what of the evening is how they're booking Britt Baker.
I completely agree.
That's the biggest what of the evening. I feel like Britt Baker, she's naturally getting over in a Stone Cold Rock fashion as a face. Why are you pulling back? You're supposed to give more to the fire. Let it breathe. Let her get... The crowd wants her. The crowd wants her, and you have no faces. You have no faces that are on her level. None. Chris Statlander's not on her level. Rio's not on her level. Sheeta's not on her level. Thunder Rosa's not on her level. None of them are on her level. But there are some heels that are coming at that could be, that could be up there. Like Nyla Rose is almost up there. She's teetering. Jamie Hayter would be a good person to have a feud with. Like there's some people I just don't understand. But who knows? Who knows? What are your thoughts on that?
It's funny that those are your thoughts, because I feel the same way, but the opposite, in the sense that you're hurting your entire female roster by Britt continuing to act like a heel but be cheered like a face, because people don't want to cheer the faces who are coming in to try to stop Britt Baker. So like Red Velvet, like Chris Statlander tonight, the crowd just didn't know what to do. They were just like, I want to cheer for Britt, but I also like Chris Statlander. So I'm just going to be quiet. I'm just going to sit on my hands. Now, that, to me, is a bigger issue about AEW in their women's division. They don't give AEW's women's division time to develop and let these women develop real characters that can be baby faces or can be heels. Everybody right now is just like a blue chip baby face because we're all trying really hard because they don't give us the time to actually develop a character, have promos, do stories, and things like that. The only thing I can think of, the only possible thing I can think of is that the reason they're not going full... Actually, no, that makes... no sense. What I was even thinking doesn't make any sense. Is that what's her name? She's hurt right now. She's got a knee injury.
Reba?
Not Reba. No. It's gonna drive me crazy.
Oh no. Who has a knee injury?
Yeah,
help us out, guys.
She's an incredible wrestler. She was a trainer in WWE for a while. Serena Deeb.
Yes. Serena Deeb.
They're cutting. I've seen a couple of promos of hers where she is in a wheelchair and she's getting out of the wheelchair. She's got a knee injury and she's cutting heel promos. So she is going to try to come back as a heel. And my only other thought, thank you, Tony, for Deeb. My only other thought is they're building up. Statlander is going to lose and Baker's going to, whatever. And the only person who they could possibly cheer louder than Britt Baker, even though she's being a heel, is going to be Ruby Soho, who's going to be debuting in the Women's Battle Royal. And then that's your next program. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh. But it's just a weird thing. I feel like they're putting some water on the fire. But she could get hotter if you let her go out and cut these heel promos, but let her get cheered. Let her keep getting on a roll, and then have some hot heels going after her, but we'll see. I like the Luchasaurus doesn't break character in the audience. Kayfabe. What character? He's just standing there. He's not like breaking, like he doesn't do anything that's dinosaurish. Like it's not like he does anything different than he would if he were a person.
Well, I was thinking it's funny that who said that? Who said that? S.
S is
I bet
silly,
I bet S and I are on the same page because when Jungle Boy hopped the guardrail to go in the ring, dressed like someone who's going to the mall on a Friday night, Luchasaurus is just in his gear. And then I was like, well, what can Luchasaurus wear out of the ring that's appropriate for his character? Nothing. He's just got to keep...
No, he can. Have a robe with some spikes on the back that go down the spine like a stegosaurus. I was thinking that too. I would love for him to have a robe that has that like almost like an edge robe, like an edge jacket, like a trench coat, leather trench coat with spikes down the spine.
That's something. That's not bad.
Smooth says biggest woo is that Colton Gunn is still unbeatable. I believe. Smooth, are you drunk right now?
Hey,
that's not
everybody's got their favorites.
Yeah, you got your favorites. Could do a Hater Baker split in a couple months. Turner fully face then. Yeah, they could. I just don't I'm just worried about the now. But I understand what you're saying, Swizz. Like I'm just worried about what they're doing now and the people that's getting hurt in the way. Like Red Velvet. What is Red Velvet's character? She's just like a happy pastry. That is her entire character. Red Velvet, like she's from her mama's kitchen. Like it's just like there's nothing about the character other than that she's happy.
Well, she has a future. She has a history. They did. That's the thing, though, that this is what they do sometimes, especially with women. They do these video packages with the women, and it's like, oh, Red Velvet's dad was a boxer, and she's got this boxing background. She's done all of that. And then she starts boxing for a little bit, but then she doesn't have a match for a few weeks on TV, and they just forget about all of that momentum, and she goes back to just being a happy pastry again.
You're right. Britt will also face Thunder Rosa soon, probably. But again, Thunder Rosa isn't as over as Britt, and it's gonna hurt Thunder Rosa a little bit.
And that's AEW's fault because they said, I mean,
because she could be.
Absolutely, she could be.
Thunder Rosa was on a fucking roll, and after that, what was that match they had earlier this year?
She won.
What was the last one standing?
The unsanctioned match.
The unsanctioned match, they had that. She won, and they literally just stopped doing anything with her. She was on fire. Oh my god, that's angering. That's so angering. But then Swizz says Colton Gunn is 24-0. Yeah, it's all those dark matches, and they really love their Colton Gunn. I don't know. I'm just not a Colton Gunn fan.
The tall one or the short one?
The tall one.
The tall one.
Not Austin, not the rapper. Colton's the one that he has a good splash in the corner. He does have a good splash in the corner. He flies. What's your biggest what of the night?
I think my biggest what was what we discussed is just the handling of the women's division. It's like a mixture of that, which leads me to my other what, which is this stupid 6-man tag with QT Marshall. Get off my television, QT Marshall. I don't want you here. And I will very rarely say that about anybody, but with him specifically, you do a lot of things that I'm sure of great value to this company. You train people, you're an agent, whatever. I just don't need you on my television. And you know what? If you want to fight Big Show or Paul White, go ahead and do it. There doesn't need to be any build. I don't need any... I know who Paul White is. I know who you are. You've never won a match on television, so...
And I'm not concerned about you winning. Right. There's no... It's really an exhibition to show if Big Show can still move.
Yeah.
And that's really the entire reason we're going to watch that match. Big Show on commentary. Like, just to talk about that whole match was a snore. It was a big boring chant. But then Big Show on commentary, it's like two slabs of beef slapping into each other. Like, he just says the stupidest things. He's just like, and he puts himself over all the time. And he doesn't know any of the names of moves. He just doesn't, he's not at all, he doesn't, it feels like he doesn't care. It feels like he's high energy sometimes. It's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. What do you think of Big Show on commentary?
He means well. He means well, but I'm a big commentary guy. I love watching like good commentary with my matches, and that's why I don't generally watch Elevation, because I don't think Tony and Big Show are all that great.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Dark is pretty good, though. Excalibur and Taz have a ball.
Best.
And when Ricky joins, it's a lot of fun.
Really fun.
A lot of fun there. We saw a Gunn family versus Cutie match. That match hurt my soul. Yeah, that was pretty badass. You're talking about QT Marshall, right? When you say QT,
QT.
yeah, that has to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
think
has to be.
so.
Yeah, it hurt all our souls. So I'm glad that we're on the same page. Tony, during that 6-man, to make it interesting, they should have let Big Show destroy all three.
Yeah.
Yes, they should have. But they're saving it. They're saving it for that, and I get it because we want to see that, Tony. They know that we want this. Are you Tony Khan? Just realized that. Very interesting. Very suspicious, Tony. But very interesting. But yeah, that was my biggest issue with it. QT Marshall. Cutie Marshall.
Yeah, Cutie Marshall.
Cutie Marshall. Why do they keep saying Marshall?
That's how he pronounces it. I guess.
For Christ's sakes, get a fucking life. Moving on. I got one more big what.
Is it this Jericho MJF segment? I'm excited to hear why.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't care. Like, I know this is probably leading towards Jericho's retirement. He actually looked pretty emotional when he came out. But I'm so tired of hearing the Judas song. I am so tired of Jericho as a face. I am so tired of Jericho versus MJF. It just feels so old and beaten down, like Jericho. Yep. And honestly, and I don't want to, of course, Jericho is a legend. He's done some great things. But honestly, his face turn this past year has been one of the worst things.
His whole year?
I think the past year, actually, ever since his Orange Cassidy feud, I did not like the Orange Cassidy feud. I like some moments when him and MJF were friends. I like Dinner Debonair. Yeah. I like Dinner Debonair. But other than that, I've just been his Orange Cassidy feud hurt Orange Cassidy in my eyes. I feel like it wasn't a good feud for Orange Cassidy. And this MJF thing has just been drawn to death. And I just wish Jericho took a break for a little bit, maybe for a few months, and then comes back and has his retirement tour. But this, I just feel, is just a little bit much.
Yeah.
And last week should have been his retirement match. And that's what they should have done. They should have said, if I can't win these labors, I am going to retire.
Yeah. I pretty much agree with everything you're saying. It's this weird thing, and feel free to disagree, or if anybody has a different opinion on this. Jericho and Orange Cassidy had a really great first match. And then right after that first match, it's like Jericho just aged 10 years and just hasn't been the same in the ring ever since. And it's very odd to me. I mean, he had a good tag match against the Young Bucks with MJF earlier in the year. That was pretty good. But I agree. It feels sometimes – I don't generally agree with people when they say this, and I think you've said it before. I think, our friend Alex has said it before about this, Tony Khan just kind of gives the ball to the wrestlers, and he just says, yeah, you go and do it. There's no booker. There's no one there to say no, necessarily. And this seems like one of those instances where Jericho's like, I'm probably done, but I'm going to do it the way I want to do it, and we'll do these labors, and then we'll do another match, and then maybe there's going to be another thing, rather than a booker being like, I think it's best if we just do it this way. And that's just that, Because it feels a little dragged out. I get it. And when Jericho's like, I need to do this one more time, we're going to have a match at the pay-per-view or whatever, there was a part of me that was like, yeah, okay, I kind of expected that to happen. But I don't know if that's because that's standard wrestling storytelling or because I've just gotten used to AEW, especially Jericho, MJF, Inner Circle, Pinnacle. This whole thing has been booked so strangely. It just doesn't – none of it makes any sense. Just like the Hardy family stuff, it's all backwards. And now Jericho beat – or no, Orange Cassidy – this is like a side, but we're going to go back to Jericho. Orange Cassidy beat Matt Hardy this week. So now next week he's fighting Jack Evans. It's like when you beat the final boss, but now there's a bonus level where you have to beat a low-level henchman again. Why?
Yeah, or you have steel cage, halftime match, and then
right, exactly. And now here's a singles feud.
Singles with
and also the Inner Circle hasn't been together on television since they won that War Games match. Since they stayed together, they haven't been together. So what's happening here?
Yeah, and I'm glad that Proud and Powerful,
Proud and Powerful, yeah.
Proud and Powerful are going to move on. I hope they do. I honestly hope that Eddie Kingston joins with them and they kind of form together because I think they would be a good trios. Even though I'm fine with him and Mox, whatever. Sure. But let's see what we got. Some comments here. Jericho kind of spoiled it by saying he would do commentary. Very good point, Tony. It really did spoil it because it's obviously that's the transition. He's basically saying that's going to be my transition. And I'm okay with him on commentary. I'm not in love with him on commentary. He was better during quarantine.
Yeah, he was. Agreed.
He was calmer.
He didn't realize.
And he was able to
I'm sorry. He didn't realize that it was a shtick yet. Like, once he started getting over and people started saying how much they liked his commentary, then he started becoming like a shticky, like Jericho thing.
Real over the top and screaming. He's basically screaming the entire time. I don't want to see Jericho wrestle again. Swizz says this. I don't want to see Jericho wrestle again. And if he's on commentary, where is he going to go? It would mean to be a 4-man booth on both main shows. Yeah, that would be terrible. I don't want a 3-man booth.
Neither do I.
I don't want a 3-person booth. I want a 2-person booth. 2-person booth. Tony, Jericho needs a break to hit the gym again and just build up again. Wrestlers are busy, and at this age, it's hard to keep up. Yeah, it's true. It's hard to keep up. I don't know if I just want to see him take a little break, just a little break, so we care more about this retirement, just a little bit, something. But S says, how much would it suck if Jericho beat MJF? Lord, that's a good point, S. That's a good point. Because honestly, I thought this was over already. I thought this was over last week, but I guess it's not. So who knows how they're going to drag this out? Maybe he's going to keep going. That's a very good point.
That's actually too good of a point, because if I'm Chris Jericho, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to wrestle like 3rd or 4th on this card, on this massive card, like with CM Punk coming back and this world title match, and there's a cage match. I'm going to have my last match ever as like the 4th match on like some random pay-per-view card. I think Jericho might win, and that's a bummer.
Yeah. That's interesting. I don't know. We're going to have to find out. Any other what's that you have?
I don't think so.
Wow. We had such a fun time today.
I think
we did all the things. We covered all the stuff. And guess where we're going to be? We're going to be here on Friday covering Rampage.
Yeah, right? Sure, of course. Let's do it.
Oh, cool. Sure, of course. Let's do it. Yeah, because we're going to cover it for you. And it's not going to be glitchy. We're going to be here. I might be big. I might be small. But we're going to be here. That's the point of it. That's the fun of it. And thank you all so much for joining us. This is Loser Leaves Wrestling, the WOOS and WHATS of AEW Dynamite. Check us out. Check out our podcast. Give us a listen. Put in a good review on Apple Podcasts. Let us know you're there. We appreciate it. Also, what do you have?
Wait, this is Tony said, what about Garcia attacking Darby? Good point. That's like a wah for me. I don't feel anything about it. I think they're going to have one more match maybe, and that'll be fun. But
honestly, that might be a reason why Darby loses to Punk.
Oh.
That'd be terrible. That would be terrible.
Yeah. But they'll probably have a match in Chicago next week or something, or maybe Punk, or there's some type of something that I'm sure that'll happen.
But they will have a great match. They will have a great match, but I didn't care about that moment. Chico Marks, great show. I'll miss Friday. It's Wrestling Pro Wrestling. Fuck. Well, I gotta miss it. Chico Marks. I can't make it. Wrestling Pro Wrestling is Brian Kendrick's school's comedy show,
awesome.
And it's
you
great.
Gotta go.
There's like. No, I can't go. There's what's his name? Benjamin Schmenjamin, and there's Ricotta Flair and Parmesan Anderson. It's great. It's great. Nice job, guys. It says, quick format question. Is Roy the new guy on the pod, the Stan Lane, or does the pod run by Freebird rules, and it could be any of the 3 of you at any given day?
Freebird rules, big time.
Freebird rules, 100%. Very good point, S. And I like that this is a Freebird. We are.
Yeah, and I would like to also point out, if we can ever figure out how to get all 3 of us on at once, we'll do that too.
We still haven't figured that. Our CP usage can only get 2 faces on the screen right now. We're working on a 3rd. If you got answers for that, let us know. But I have to close the show because this is also, I don't edit this podcast. This is how it goes. So thank you all so much. Loser Leaves Wrestling. My name is Red Jefferson. I'm here with Roy Lazowitz. Let's say bye, Roy.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, check us out on Twitter too, because I'm going to post fun wrestling things sometimes.
Oh, he's got a live tweet for us. We're going to have some Roy live tweeting.
Bye.
Make sure to check us out. Bye. Oh, bye. Excellent job. This was a